just so you know, this is silly town.
Hello, welcome back to The Dog and the Frog, episode 2 of the pod. I should have said something of pond there, right? Like, that would have been a fun little, almost a rhyme. Dakota's hanging out in this one. Anybody? Well, I don't know what he's doing over there, but if you're watching the video, Dakota's in there. How are you, Figs? How's your day?
It's been a fun day. Honestly, just hung out, tried to ignore all of my usual responsibilities. Still working on finding a new job and travel stuff, but you know, that's nothing new at this point.
Ooh, I had like a grossly productive day until my Instacart delivery just brought me a bunch of random things I didn't order. So if anybody needs some dill, I've got dill. Nothing to do with it right now.
You can make some pickles.
No, that's you know what? When you make like a pickling brine, there's like a very specific ratio, and I don't feel like doing all that right now. That feels like a lot of work.
That's
I've
fair.
done enough adulting today. You're lucky if I don't eat ice cream for dinner. And instead, I'm probably just not going to eat dinner.
Yeah, I feel that. It happens. It's fine. It's the fun of being an adult is that you just nobody gets to tell you that you can't do that. So
That's what adulting is. Just being an adult is being allowed to be a child without apologizing for it.
yeah.
Just I get to make my own choices. Speaking of travel, I think that's what we want to talk about today. And my favorite kind of travel, which is when you travel all by your damn self.
Very exciting.
I am counting down to heading back to Wales. So we are, what's today? The 11th? Oh my God. The 5th, August 5th. So way less than a month. I am heading back over to Wales to hide out for at least 2 weeks. We'll see how that plays out. You never know with me.
Good to see you come back.
If I didn't have the dogs, I could promise you anytime I left my house, it would be a risk whether or not I would ever come back here.
Yeah, no, I get that. Are you just doing the whole time in Cardiff this time, or are you traveling around at all?
So home base is Cardiff. I would like to try to get out to Tenby this time. I didn't do because Wales was just like the 2 weekends last time for the shows.
Yeah.
Um, I will tell you, bumfuck West Wales is beautiful, but I'm gonna hopefully try to get out to Tenby. I didn't get to see any of the beaches. I didn't get to do any of the hiking. I'd like to do that, but I also absolutely must be returning to Fuel at Cardiff. So that's like their like little rock nightclub, and it was my Airbnb was like right in the city, like the center of city center. So it was like 2 blocks away, which was sick. This one's a little bit further. This trip's also funky. It was originally a solo trip, and part of it is, but then I told Melissa that I was going, and one day she was like, "What dates are you going to be there?" And I gave her the dates, and then like one day she just sent me a screenshot of like a flight in on August 9th, and I was like, "Oh, you're coming?" She's like, "Yeah, is that okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, I don't care, whatever." So then I texted her, I'm like, "When are you leaving?" She's like, I don't have an exit plan yet." And I was like, "Oh, well, I might not, so let's see." So
Love that.
two solo travelers traveling together to see how this plays out. But it's funny because I don't know too many people besides Melissa that also don't give any fucks about what every day looks like. It's an
Yeah.
adventure.
I definitely think if it wasn't for the minis, I would probably do a lot more of that. But I also didn't do a lot of. Actually, I've technically never done a whole lot of or like at any solo traveling. It's always like at least me and one person or me and a group of people and stuff. So yeah, the drive out to Colorado in May was definitely my first taste of that, and now I'm like super fucking jazzed for like this what is it? I think like 16 days all by myself for my first overseas trip, which is both terrifying and exhilarating.
Wait, so where are you going? You're doing Bristol and where else?
So I'm doing most of it in London actually.
Oh,
And then I think it's like 3 days in Bristol.
okay.
So the first, what is it, like, I get in about like 8 o'clock on the 9th, like 8 in the morning on the 9th. So that's gonna be fun because I can't even check into my Airbnb until like I think 3 or 4. um,
I always book the Airbnb for the night before. That's why I try to I gotta work. So me, I have the luxury of like going to the bar and picking up a shift, and I'm like, I need to work one extra shift so that I could get my Airbnb the night before. I hear a mini.
yep, it is the miniest of the minis. Do you want to say hi really quick? Yeah. Okay, say hello.
Hi.
All right. Can you go read your book now?
I just want you.
Give me hugs real quick. All right, I love you.
Aww.
All right. Thank you. I love
I
you.
just want you.
We'll be done. We'll be done in a little bit, okay?
So sweet.
Wants absolutely nothing to do with me the entire day, and then that's how it goes. As soon as you're trying to do something, it's just like, okay, but like, I need you immediately.
That's what mine will do that, but he does that by forcing himself to vomit, so it'll be way less
Oh,
cute.
yeah, that's I could not deal with that.
He's a very specific kind of dog. Clearly occupied with his own feet right now, though, so we're good there.
Yeah.
Wait, so where in London is your Airbnb?
So from the 9th until oh fuck, I can't remember what day I actually leave to go to Bristol. I think it's like the 14th or 15th. I'm staying about 2 blocks from Tower Bridge.
Oh.
So like fucking right up in there. And then for the few days in Bristol, I'm also gonna be like right in the almost city center, just right up in it. And the place I got is actually above an improv theater. So I'm super excited about the kind of people that are going to be coming and going because they have like a little like blurb on the listing that's just like, just so you know, there will constantly be people and there's gonna be noise, and I'm just like, yes, no, I don't have to worry about being quiet. Let's go. Like,
I hope it gets super fucking weird.
yes, I'm so excited. Ready to go live out my dreams of my teenage youth of existing in the same town as all the Skins stuff.
Television is so special. I
Yeah,
don't watch enough of it, to be honest.
some of it's really good and some of it's just really bad. But like, I guess that's, I don't know. American TV is also that way.
Oh yeah.
To be fair though, the American version of Skins was absolute dog shit.
I didn't see it. I did not see it. I will tell you that
No one ever should have.
I
It's.
do like the American version of Shameless better, but
I actually haven't watched Shameless.
that's a whole different conversation for another
Yeah.
day. But William H. Macy is the man. So then Bristol, and then
the last like weekish, my other Airbnb back in London is about, I think it's near Churchill Gardens, so it's really fucking close to the palace. But I'm basically like right on the Thames both times, just like the first week I'm south of it and the next week I'm fucking north of it. So I'm gonna be right up in it the whole time, which is honestly so much better than the original plan because it was originally supposed to be me and my best friend, and we were gonna do hotels that were a little bit further out just because it was more affordable. But I'm like, fuck it, I'll just find some Airbnbs that are like rented out with other people, and I ended up saving almost like $2,000 on all of my booking costs by doing that. So fuck yeah, spending money.
that's what I did when I was there for the month in March. Mine was, and I'm actually probably when I go back in November, probably gonna be in the same Airbnb. It's like it's 3 bedrooms. It's small, but it had like a kitchen so I could cook and like a washer dryer, and but it was super fucking weird because there was another girl who was also American because I heard her, and she was there with me the whole month and never said a word to me. And like I wasn't
Super weird.
like come in my room and like hang out if she didn't want to, but like when you pass someone in the hallway and you're literally living with them for a month, like you could say hi.
Yeah.
That whole month, she never said a word to me. We were there almost the same exact dates. I think she left a day or two before me. And every day that I passed her and she never spoke to me, I was like, this is really fucking weird. Like,
Yeah.
obligated to interact with me, but it's like when you hold the door for someone and they don't say thank you. I'm like, all right.
Yeah, even just like a bare minimum, like hi, just a little polite thing. Like, I feel like it'd be less weird if she wasn't American, but like knowing she's American and knowing that like the majority of us have been conditioned to do that like weird politeness thing, like.
Well, that, and also people were like, well, what if there's a language barrier? And I'm like, there's not. I heard her. She's like a Northeast. She ended up being from DC. She's a Northeast American accent. Like,
Super weird.
there's no language barrier here.
Yeah.
There was even like a really cool French family that came in one weekend. I was actually the first weekend I went out to Wales, and I was in Narberth, and they were super nice to me. I came back. And I don't think they realized I was gone for the weekend, and they were like, "We're really sorry about our son. He's teething." And I was like, "Oh, no problem." I guess he cried all night, but I wasn't there to hear it.
Yeah.
But they were nicer in like the 48 hours they were there. But I like it because you meet people. Like, I've done the shared Airbnb a bunch when I travel alone, and like I'm the first person to like, if anybody talks to me, I'm like, "Hey, I got wine. You want to hang out?" Or like,
Yeah.
"What's going on?" But I love solo travel. I have to tell you though, I cheated. So when I got like first introduced to it, I was traveling for work. Like,
Yeah.
years and years opening restaurants, I traveled for work, and I would be in hotels for like 5-6 weeks at a time. But I always went out ahead of our training team, so I would be there first for a couple weeks, and then the whole team would fly out. So it was like I only had to be solo for a little bit. So there was always that kind of like barrier of, all right, I'll just have to make it through this week alone, and then people will come. And then at some point, I just started to enjoy the week alone. Like, oh, I get a whole week to myself, and then people come. Like, it just switched. And then I think when it really flipped for me was in like 2018, I think. Italy is my favorite place in the world. So I wanted to take my ex there because he was a chef, and I paid for us to go. Flights, the hotel, the whole nine, and all he had to do was get his passport, and he just like didn't get it. And I was like, well, I'm gonna go anyway. And he's like, what do you mean you're gonna go anyway? By yourself? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, what are you gonna do? I'm like, I'm gonna go to Italy. Like, I've been there twice, I speak the language, I paid for this trip, you hang out home. And so I went alone, and I had upgraded. It was on the Amalfi Coast, and I like upgraded. We here.
I don't know what's going on. I couldn't tell if like my computer was making a noise or.
I don't hear anything.
I think it might be something upstairs.
No. So
sorry. Anyway,
that I heard. So like I'd upgraded the Amalfi Coast portion of it, and it turned out that they put you in this hotel in this tiny little town called Castellamare di Stabia, and like nobody spoke English, and it was amazing because for the whole first day I was stumbling through Italian that I didn't remember, and then I had to remember stuff. And it was like by that second day I was like, nope, fuck this. I need to travel alone like anytime that I can. And it's just, you'll enjoy it. I know you, and I know you'll enjoy it because you get to know yourself so well when you spend time alone, and you like have to figure stuff out and like socialize with new people and put yourself in situations that are weird because you wouldn't do it normally. It's fun.
I'm very excited about that, especially because like I know you'll get this. This is my Saturn return year, and with Saturn being in retrograde through when I'll be gone, as well as it being like the year of my I'm super fucking excited because like that's exactly what like I was prepared for this year, was just like figuring shit the fuck out and like really coming into like who I am. And I don't know, it's gonna be honestly the being in a foreign country part isn't even the part that's scaring me. It's literally just getting my ass on the plane and not having a panic attack in front of strangers on an airplane. Like that's the only part of this that's really concerning me. But I don't know. I think once I'm over there, I'm gonna have a problem with like wanting to come back. Like my mom was just like, you're gonna be there for like 2 days and then you're gonna be sad and you're gonna miss everybody. And I'm like,
no,
I will miss all of you. Like I don't doubt that at all. But it's not gonna be I want to come back. It's gonna be I need you guys to come here because I'm not coming back. So like, gotta have to figure this out. And that's honestly what I'm definitely more concerned about, because I don't know, actually had an astrologer do like my astrocartography thing specifically for this trip, and I have two major lines that run straight through London, and basically said what I was hoping to get out of this trip, which is just like something is going to happen there that's really going to shift your perspective on like life and yourself and all that shit. And I'm just like, cool. I mean, I kind of already knew that, but like having it confirmed by the stars is just, I love that. It's going to be fun.
That was weird for me because I'd never wanted to go to London. Like when people would be like, "Where do you?" I'd be like, "I don't know. I never want to go to London. Like I don't want that weather. Fuck that. I like the sun." And then I went,
so much for the weather.
yeah. Actually, I had good weather when I was there. Both times I was there, I had good weather.
Yeah.
When we were supposed to leave in December, I was walking down the street with Emily, and I was like, "I need to make a phone call." She's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm changing my flight." I just stayed 3 more days by myself. She's like, "What about your dogs?" I'm like, "I already called somebody."
Yeah.
But it's definitely different. Tell you what, coming home when you know you want to move abroad is like a very different vibe.
Yeah. I think it would be like even now, like no, like not having been any further than like, fucking Vermont, or the fucking Pacific Peninsula and shit up in Washington. Like that's the furthest I've ever been from home. And no matter where I go, and even if it's just so far as fucking Colorado, like I'm always just like, I really don't want to go home, because anywhere else that I go feels more home than where I'm stuck.
Mm-hmm.
And like I think the itch is just gonna get so bad once I go somewhere that I like genuinely know I want to move. Even if I'm spending most of my time in London, because like I know my plan has kind of been like moving to Bristol because it's size wise, like population wise, it's a lot closer to what I'm used to. So I feel like it would make the adjustment easier. But I don't know. I kind of just want to say fuck it and just go all in. Like,
Dude, the London suburbs are cool. You'll know when you get there, and it's just like, mm, I don't know. You just know when you get there, like, right? The suburbs are cool. You'll explore. Bristol's beautiful. I didn't get enough time.
yeah,
Like half a day in Bristol, so I did like half a day in Bristol and Bath with a friend that like walked me around. Um, and I just like the architecture too. Like being in New Jersey and New York my whole life. Like I've seen enough high-rise buildings and skyscrapers to last me a whole fucking time. I don't care.
yeah. That's something I'm super excited about, because like um I've been really into like architecture in general for a while. And like getting to go somewhere that like the buildings are just fucking so old, and like I feel like that sounds so silly to people who just like don't get it. Cause it's just like, why the fuck do you want to go look at a bunch of old buildings? But it's just like, if you just take a minute and just look at it and appreciate the art that it is, like, I'm thinking about doing one of the tours at St. Paul's, actually,
Mm-hmm.
because I I'm not religious in any sense of the word, but I fucking love me an old church. I just
They're cool.
they really popped off with that fucking all that religious imagery, man. Like it's so gorgeous. And they also do like tours of the crypts and stuff, and obviously I'm a creepy little bitch, so like I live for that shit. So
I like the castles and shit too. So when I was in, if you're in Bristol for a couple of days, you're only like probably maybe an hour from Cardiff if you go, and like you're just like walking through the center, and it's like, oh, castle, the size of the whole fucking place, and I'm like, you know what, this is more my vibe, right? Like I'm done with everything I see over here, and that's. There's places in the U.S. I would move, right? Like Colorado, if it wasn't landlocked, I love Colorado. Like I love Denver. I loved I don't remember what that little town was we stayed in when we were at Red Rocks. Was it Lakewood or whatever?
yeah,
Lakeside something. Um,
yeah,
I would.
Lakewood's cool because it's not as expensive as like living actually in Denver, and you're much closer to the mountains and shit, which is always nice. That's
I
why I
was
like
pleasantly
Boulder too,
surprised.
but
I was pleasantly surprised to not get altitude sickness when everybody else did. Like I was expecting that, and I was like,
yeah,
oh, so like being up at Red Rocks in the mountains was gorgeous. But I need to be like at least a couple hours accessible to an ocean, not
Yeah.
a lake. So like otherwise Colorado's gorgeous.
That's one
Awesome.
of the things I hate most about being stuck here is like I just like I've been to the ocean a couple times. Like actually the only time that I've ever flown when I was a little kid, I actually went down to Texas and, you know, got to swim in the Gulf of Mexico and shit. Got stung by jellyfish, super fun. But that was the first time I ever got to see the ocean, and it was so nice. And then when I was living up in Washington for about 3 months, and it's so wildly different seeing like the ocean in like down in the Gulf and then like up there, and then it's so weird how wildly different it is, but like it's so pretty, and it's just I hate being fucking landlocked. It's absolutely the goddamn worst.
That's what I think like when I think about, like I said, Italy's like my favorite place, and I'm like most of it is just out in the water, right?
Yeah.
I'm not the most surprised that I was comfortable in the UK because I'm like, well, I'm still on an island, right? I'm still only a couple hours from the ocean in any direction. Where I am right now, I'm spoiled. I'm like 15 minutes in any direction, but
Yeah.
I'm very done with the majority of the people that live near me. So that's why I was just like, it was also so awesome to be overseas again, to just be in a different culture and absorb that. You did Colorado, right, though? Like, you came in, you, like, hiked by yourself a little bit. Like, you did, like, a little... You were like, I'm here. I'm like, oh, but you're not here. You're like, yeah, it's fine. I'll be there later. I'm doing
It's
stuff.
like, no, I'm like half an hour away. Like I'm literally on top of a mountain right now. We're out here vibing. It's fine.
I'm doing my own thing.
Sorry about that.
Right, Dakota popped up as soon as you muted.
All the drama.
Whining. No, he just is getting ready to be dramatic.
Yeah.
Colorado.
Yeah. That I don't know. It was weird because usually I have to like drag people up in the mountains to like hike with me and stuff. So this time I was just like, fuck it. And I actually ended up driving past where I was initially trying to go. Because I was severely sleep deprived at that point. Like, because I got up and opened on that Friday. So I was at work by 7 a.m. And then I literally left directly from work and drove the 8 hours out there. And then I think by the time I actually got into Denver was somewhere around like 10 o'clock. And I was like, okay, let me just find a parking lot. I'm just gonna park in for the night, you know, call it a day. And I ended up in a 24-hour parking garage. And
Wait, I forgot. You could have been in the Airbnb. I forgot.
yeah, no, because I didn't know about any of that. So I parked at the end by where I knew there was like a camera, and I hung up some shit in like the window so like most of the lights were blocked out, and I maybe got like 2 hours of sleep, and then I got up and, you know, I got up and I left the parking garage before sunrise because I was so determined to get to Red Rocks to see sunrise.
Mm-hmm.
And I did it, and it was fucking life-changing. And then I immediately left and found the nearest gas station and got like 3 shots of coffee, and then drove all the way out to Boulder to go hike out there, which is when I drove past the first set of mountains that I was trying to hike, and then I like doubled back and ended up on a different path, and I saw some moose. And I actually ended up on, what is it, Lookout Point, up where Buffalo Bill is buried. Which was totally accidental. Like I didn't don't know how I got there. But the view was amazing, and I literally just sat up there just drinking my coffee and like looking and just feeling it for a good while. And then I was like, I'm actually really fucking hungry, and the restaurant that I want to eat at is open now, so like let's go get some food.
Hearing this story, I don't really feel that bad that you didn't know about the Airbnb, because I don't know.
Oh, it was so much fun. It could not have been a better experience. We'll get there. Yeah, that's
Buffalo Bill.
Oh yeah, I don't know. It was super
we
fucking weird. I was up there, and I honestly got really scared for a second because I was literally the only person up there. Like there was no cars by where I parked or anything, and like the actual um like lodge thing that's up there wasn't even open yet, so like nobody was up there. And then this guy comes out of nowhere and just starts talking to me, and I was like, I don't have a great signal up here. I'm absolutely alone. Like the knife that I have is not very big. It's I'm a little concerned. But then he starts like asking me like where Buffalo Bill's grave is at, and I was just like, I don't know. Like I didn't know that was what was up here when I got here. That's So I like just kind of pointed somewhere. I was like, I don't know, maybe over there. Because there was like a big rock with some stuff on it. So I was like, okay, maybe that's it. Absolutely the wrong direction of where the grave was.
Did he go anyway?
He actually ended up walking in the opposite direction that I pointed him. So I'm like, I mean, I'm sure he ended up in the right direction, but like, I mean, he left me alone, and that's really all I was concerned about. Because I'm just like, I'm not excited about being in this position. But I think that's just the little anxiety goblin again, just kind of doing its thing.
Listen, it doesn't hurt to be aware, to be self-aware. Not like you stabbed him. Everything's fine.
Like I've just got my coffee, man. I'm just trying to hang out. I don't know where the dead guy's buried.
Look at the corner of my screen, though.
Beautiful.
See how mad he is.
Yeah,
I can't understand what she's saying. If it helps, I have no idea.
they're just fighting. It's
A good idea, though, that I'm not
it's really crazy. I'm gonna what is it? I'm not yelling and slamming doors anymore. So it's the number of times you can only say no so many times before it's just like this conversation is not going anywhere. So
Listen,
this is great.
they're testing your skills as an editor.
Oh yeah, actually that is a great idea. I didn't know you could do that. That's fun. The little chat thing.
Oh yeah. I'll find if there's something on that we can do in technology on my end. I just click all the buttons till I find it. I just don't have a lot of buttons over here.
I honestly, I definitely meant to spend more time pushing all the buttons to figure everything out, but like I've just fuck it. We're out here just vibing,
Just raw dog.
We'll get there.
But it'll be funny because there'll be plenty of times when we'll be recording and someone will knock on my door and Harley will absolutely lose her mind and go ape shit and we'll have to cover it up.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
we got access to all sorts of weird noises. I'll just dive into the soundboard and
oh god,
see what's in there.
oh no. All right. So we were at solo travel in Colorado, and the time when I forgot to tell you that you could sleep in the Airbnb the night before I got there. People were there.
It worked out though. It's fine. Because as soon as I got there the next day and you guys went to go get food, like I showered and I was like in the middle of getting ready and I just knocked the fuck out.
I don't even remember where was I. I don't even remember. That is all just like a blur. Like all of us in that house just feels like a blur. Which like low key part of that still feels like solo travel to an extent because most of us didn't even know each other. Like hadn't even met before that. And we're like, oh, we're just all signed up for 10 of us in this one house. We'll see what happens. We're rolling dice on existing together for 4 days.
It was fun. I think it would have been a little bit more weird had I not known as many of you on the level that I did before it happened, but like there was more of the comfortability, at least I think once I got there it settled in a little bit, and just because I know I didn't talk a lot when I first got there because you guys were in the middle of like chatting about something, and just going and I just sat there. I'm just like, I'm just happy to be here. So I'm just gonna watch you guys and see what's up. And
I was probably in some sort of weird ADHD mania from excitement. what did I do? I flew there. Yeah, I'm not a good like solo driver. My drive to Montreal and back from Toronto were solo drives. And like Montreal, I drove like through the night, and I was just
Yeah.
alone with my thoughts in the pitch black, and I was like, this is weird. Toronto was a weird drive home though. It didn't feel that long. It wasn't my favorite solo travel. I prefer to fly somewhere and then hang out alone, but it was interesting to like spend not even with my dogs. Any long drive I've ever taken, I've had a dog. Not these two because these two are not good travelers, but my lab that passed away in 2019 was like my road dog. That's the
Yeah.
only other time I took long road trips was like with her. So I would literally just like talk to the dog the whole trip. These were my like long drives with my brain, and it was long drives with my brain and like reflecting on having already spent time with everybody too. Like going back through the month of May, and I was like, oh my god, it's only been a month, and I'm like a different person again.
Yeah, the drive out there was definitely wildly different than the drive back. I did not feel at all like the same person coming home. And when I finally did get home, I was so bummed out. I did my little floor time. Like I literally got home, unpacked the half my shit, and then just came inside and probably spent a good 45 minutes just laying on my floor. Just I probably inhaled a good half of the bag of arrows that did bring home with me. I'm waiting for my next package from Fingers because I'm so excited about those.
Canadian treats. I just finished.
Ugh.
What? It's bad enough, right? Like show drop is bad enough when you're going to concerts, and then like the additional drop from the social drop of like waiting so long to like get together, and then
Yeah,
I don't even know how many days we were there, but it feels like we were there for like 4 hours now, like the
yeah.
whole by like a blur.
It was. It didn't even take a full 24 hours between when I got back and continuing to talk to Fingers, though, where I was like, how fast could I expedite my passport to make it to Canada so I can go to more of these more shows with you guys and see you guys again. And I probably spent a good 2 days trying to figure out if I would be able to get my passport in time, or like if I could get across the border safely, like with some other kind of paperwork aside from a passport. Because they were like, I've got an extra ticket for Toronto,
Yeah.
and I'm like, because I also came home. I budgeted way too hard for Colorado for what I ended up spending because I also mostly didn't eat the whole time.
Why?
I don't. I don't know. I managed to go to my favorite restaurant while I was out there, and then I ate like gas station snacks like the rest of the time.
I don't even think I realized what you were eating.
Yeah. No, I was just a ball of energy the whole time. It was.
I don't know what I don't even know what I ate besides Canadian candy, to be honest.
Yeah. The popcorn. I think that's. I
Right?
guess yeah. after the show, we got back and it was because I woke up and there was still like a bowl of popcorn on the floor. And
I did. I made the popcorn, right?
Yeah.
The whole thing was just a blur.
Yeah, those. I honestly, I probably could have swung it, but I think because I didn't end up doing that and continuing to talk about the fuck it, why not kind of shit, is what pushed me to move the September trip up to this year instead of next year. Because originally it was planned for next year, and I'm like, I mean, I've got the funds for it. Like, what? I mean, why not? Fuck it. We'll figure it out.
Saturn return, ride the wave.
Yeah.
No, you're gonna have a fucking blast. I can't wait to hear about it. And then you can send me pictures. It'll be between my two trips, and you can keep me over in Europe because my soul is European down to its core.
Yeah. I'm excited for shows over there. I'm still looking for some. I only actually have a ticket for one so far, and I'm still debating on one of them. I actually got ghosted by a dude over there because I told him that one of the bands I was thinking about going to see, he's just like, oh no, they suck, and I'm like, okay. Then I asked why, and he's just like, oh no, they're a joke over here. And I'm like, I mean, I don't hate them. I'm not mad that they're on the lineup. I'm like, they're not who who I would be going to see. But damn, that's okay. That's sure. And then I haven't heard from him since.
Oh, okay.
So that was really fun.
Normal. Got it.
But it was so funny though, because like the day before it happened, I was talking to Fingers about it because I was like, his name's really weird, and I'm like, I don't know if I could sleep with him just because of his name. And and we were talking about the music stuff, and they were like, "Oh, have you brought up Sleep yet?" And I'm like, "No, I don't. I don't want to hear some weird pretentious opinion about something that I enjoy a lot. Because he's in a band, and I was married to a band guy. I know exactly how they can be about bands that they don't like, and it's annoying. And that probably makes me sound like a dick, but it's fine. Because band guys can also be dicks, and that's fine. And so we were talking about it a little bit, and I still haven't officially decided if I want to go or not, because it's the night before I fly out. My flight doesn't leave until like
Do it. Do it.
Everybody's telling me like, why not? Because I gotta be out of my Airbnb by like 10 o'clock anyway, and my flight isn't until like 2 or 3. So it's like I'm not gonna oversleep. Like it's fine.
Is it in London?
Yeah.
Is the show in London? Yeah, do it. Where in London? What venue?
Oh fuck. I don't remember what it's called.
It's fine. You can tell me later. But I say do it. I mean, I went to see Continents the day before I flew out. Actually, I changed my flight to see Continents. The day before I flew out. That was in, I don't remember, some town I probably can't pronounce, 10 minutes from Cardiff. So I had to take the train all the way back, and some kid threw up on himself 10 minutes into the train ride, and I had to sit with that. So it could be worse. No, I say go. You probably see that guy in the crowd too. He'll be like in the pit for the band that he was talking shit about, and you'll be like, "Oh, right, there you are."
Oh, that would be funny, because the other bands are definitely like the vibe of stuff that he was telling me he's like into. So I mean, it's entirely possible, but
so he'll be there.
It would be funny. I'm just gonna make fun of his name if I see him, because it's fine. I mean, I thought it was gonna be normal, because you know how a lot of people on Field will use fake names or just like the letter from their name or whatever. It was just B. So I'm like, it's probably something normal, like Brandon, or his name was Barney.
Barney, like
that's a hell of a name.
That's tough when you have kids too. Although I will tell you, the first thing I thought of was How I Met Your Mother.
The funniest thing is that I was in the middle of rewatching that show when I started talking to him, and when he ghosted me, and I'm like, he's also blonde. It's a little too. It's fine. It's fine. I'm okay with that.
Listen, I know he's not swinging for my team, but NPH is a little bit of a babe. Like, he can hit it. He doesn't want to, but I'd let him.
Oh.
I mean, he does magic and he's funny, so really, I don't know. He could.
Some of those suits were good.
He could look like a piece of Stonehenge. He's funny and does magic, and I'd be fine. I want you to know I've never said that in my life. So.
Yeah. Didn't know you had a thing for magicians. That's fun.
I just like people that are interesting and like weird and different, and also don't go out of their way to tell you that they're interesting and weird and different.
Yeah.
So like my friend's boyfriend does magic too, and the first now I know that he does tell people he does magic, but the way that I found out that he did magic, he just like did a trick, and I was being an asshole, and I was kind of like, "What do you do, fucking magic?" And he was like, "Yeah," and I was like, "No way!" And I got so excited. But like, I don't know, it's just people that do things outside the box, even if you're not good at it, I don't care. You can like fuck up a card trick, but it's interesting to me. So anything that's like a little wonky, you get a point. You one step closer.
Yeah, I feel that. I actually had a friend teach me a couple of card tricks back in high school. I could not do them now, but honestly, it's just kind of fun to learn. It takes a lot of finger dexterity, though, and I think that adds to the impressiveness of it, for me at least. Which it's well, yeah, another conversation. It's fine.
Can open worms everywhere.
We'll get there. It's a whole another episode. It's,
A lot of stories about fingers today, though, and not Jenna, just like actual fingers. Even before we started recording, a lot of finger stories.
something's going on up there. I can't wait to listen to this one back and hear all the screeches. Because a lot of it's muffled with the headphones on.
It's not like actually that bad. Like you could hear them, but
Oh.
See, all the kiddos acting. I don't even know what she just barked at. Cause then she just put her head right back down, like nothing happened.
Oh wait, so
Finger dexterity, magic tricks. Boom. I
don't know if I even have anything else to say about that. It's just yeah, I'm here for it. That's
you just reminded me that when we were like really drunk in December, actually the first time I met Fingers, it was me, her, and my friend Emily that you met, and then our friend Christian from Australia. I think Christian was doing magic tricks, but I think there was a one night Fingers and I were just like banging tequila, and I just know that somebody was doing magic tricks and I was losing.
well,
I think it was Christian. Now I have to ask him.
I love that so much. No, maybe
I don't even know where we got cards. We were in a bar. It wasn't even Airbnb. So now we got.
There's always somebody around with a deck of cards. That's I used to carry it like a mini deck. Just I get this is just who I am. But
Oh, I want one for no reason.
you never know when somebody's gonna want to play Circle of Death, and you're gonna be the only motherfucker in there with a deck of cards, and it's
Old rules. I bet they're written down.
yeah. Do you have any shows that? Or did you say you were going to some shows while you're there, or are you just kind of just fucking around?
Cardiff, I'm trying to. I set my alarm for the Holding Absence Glass Heart show for the wrong time. Sent it for an hour. I set it for an hour later.
Oh no!
Tickets go on sale. So I'm trying to find a ticket for that, and then what I usually do is I like go on Songkick or whatever and just like see who's playing around there and make a list. If it's like a really good show, I'll buy a ticket ahead of time. But like if I'm not sure, I just see what's happening like that day.
That's actually how I found out about the show that's the night before I leave, is because I connected the Songkick to my Spotify, and when I was going through my little hyper focus on that band phase a few weeks back, I was like, oh hey, by the way, and I'm like, tickets are only like $20. I could swing that, and it's in London, so like why not,
Yeah. That's so much more actually effective than what I do. So when I was in London for the month of March, I literally just read every single show. Like I hyper focused on reading every single person that was playing. I was supposed to go see Judas Priest, and then I forgot to buy the ticket, which kind of irritated me. But yeah, so I don't know yet what we're doing in August, but I'm definitely going to make a list for November too. Let's see, that's a very serious note. That no face got me. I was like, well, whatever she's doing, she shouldn't do, because I wouldn't do it. I would not do it, whatever that is.
The way that the RBF can easily translate to a mom phase is
Yes,
it's helpful.
Yeah, no. So I need to make a list, but I'm definitely gonna go. Even if I don't get those tickets, I'm definitely gonna go something. But I'm on a mission now because I'm super mad that I just like didn't set the alarm for literally just an hour later. Like I can't do math, so we'll see. But there's always
those are hard.
Stuff going on.
I'm holding out hope for a Pete and Baz pop-up announcement, because they literally never leave the UK at all, and they just did a pop-up. Actually, I think they're doing one like next week. Mm-hmm. And so I'm sitting here just waiting and praying that they'll announce something. Because I would kill to see those guys live, and they're just so funny. I mean, even if it wasn't Pete and Baz, but just like a Northern Boys or something, or even Nine and Dex, I'd be hyped to see them. But they only have the 3 songs out right now. I think they're dropping another one probably in the next like month or something. But you know, it's a little bare bones right now. So, but
Dude, if they have nothing else, just hop on the tube and go to Camden. Like, there's always shit going on in Camden. You would love it there. It's like a little grungy.
yeah,
Smells weird. There's like random shit going on everywhere. I loved it. I love Camden. My friend, she works for Doc Martens, so like when I was there last time, right before I left, she's like, "Come down, I'll take you to the Doc store over there," and like she got like a pair of Docs, like super cheap. And then we went to like the bar that I forget what it's called, but there's like a bar where there that Amy Winehouse used to like chill at, and a bunch of bands got like a start at. And we watched this terrible band like suffer through a bunch of songs, but it was so cool because the kid was having so much fun. It didn't matter.
yeah.
You just know that like maybe you just saw someone's like, I don't know, first or second show that's gonna be sick one day. And you're like, I saw that dude. He was like sweating his balls off in panic in the middle of town.
That shit's the best. And I feel like they because it's so much of a bigger city, probably have more venues like doing stuff like that than here. It's so hard to get all of our like grassroots venues kind of fucking died. So we don't have shit like that anymore. So I'm really hoping to I'm trying not to over plan, which is so fucking hard for me. Because I want to just have days where I just fuck around and like look for shit to do. So
you know what? I forget you don't live near a city. You shouldn't overplan because there's going to be so much shit going on. Like you can just walk in and out of different bars and find music and like different shit to do. We found like that ball pit bar was like a random find. We were just walking.
Oh yeah,
and
that looked like so much fun.
It was. And we walked in, and before we went in the balls, the dude was like, "Just so you know, this is like when we clean and sanitize." I'm like, "Bro, I don't give a fuck. Like, I'm gonna take a couple shots of tequila. I will take a shower when we're done. I'm not gonna put it in my mouth. Like, we'll be okay." But yeah, I forgot you're not really near like a city. Like, I'm not. I'm kind of far from New York now, but like, don't plan every day. Definitely have some stuff you want to do, but you could totally just walk around and find really cool shit to do.
Yeah. And a lot of the things that I do actually have planned are very much like early in the day type shit. Because I'm gonna hit Natural History Museum and, you know, St. Paul's and shit like that. But like overall, I'm definitely just vibing it out. I want to go thrifting really bad because again, we get like the church thrift stores here and low quality Goodwill and shit like that. So I want some smells funky, real, like, you know, gonna find some solid gold pieces in the racks type shit.
Gonna take home someone's essence.
Yeah.
Don't buy somebody's ashes by accident.
Oh, fucking shit. Oh, actually, I'm kind of tempted to ask my mom if I could take a little bit of my grandma with me, and take her over there. Because I don't know, I have my little vial of it, but I don't know, I'm worried if I take that, I'm gonna end up losing it. So,
Take a little different piece and leave her there.
yeah,
Or hang out.
I wanted to do that and go to Stonehenge and sprinkle a little bit there, but because of the train routes and stuff, I could not, for the life of me, figure out a solid way where I wouldn't have to pay like a shitload for an Uber or something to get from the actual train station to Stonehenge. So I'm saving that for the next trip, which may or may not be the official move. Because I needed, I bought it's the Brit Rail Pass. So it's only for people who don't live in the UK. And I bought it for like it's the 3-day flex pass. So I've got my my train ride to Bristol, my train ride back, and then the third day I'm using for the train ride down from London to Guildford, I want to say. I think that's where it is. It's probably about an hour south of London.
What
Or
is
maybe
there?
I'm going to the hardcore deathcore showcase. I don't know. That's one of the shows that I'm going to. Gonna go see Osaya actually.
Oh,
Yeah. Um, I'm excited. I think I've only told PP about that. Um,
I didn't know. Oh, another nickname drop.
yeah.
I can't call her that. I'm only going to call her Sam. I don't know why. I can't like any name that you would also use to talk to a child about something appropriately. I can't use. Everything about children. I just find myself like averse to. I can't say. I can't even say the word.
Yeah. Oh, it's actually super funny listening to the kids talk about them. It's like, oh, your friend Fingers from Canada. It's never just Fingers. It's the whole thing every time. It's like you can just say Fingers. And
I
they're
can't
like,
tell you how many people I've like introduced her to or talked to her about, and no, almost nobody has ever asked.
yeah.
Like no, almost nobody has even blinked.
I mean,
Melissa just started calling her Fingers. She showed up at the Airbnb in December, and I was like, "Emily, this is my friend Fingers." And Emily's like, "Hi, I'm Emily." I'm like, fuck, weird. I didn't think that was how that was gonna go. It's fine. I love it. So the Deathcore showcase. So I have to look into that because I didn't use that. That might be helpful for me, like getting back and forth because I'm flying into I think Heathrow. It's just I
yeah,
didn't want to fly. I didn't want to deal with the layover going into Cardiff, and then it was like more
yeah,
expensive, it's longer. I'd rather just take the train.
yeah. That shit. It was. I think after tax and stuff, it came out to be roughly like 240. For the 3 day flex pass. But they've got like a 3 day pass, 4 day pass, and as long as you use it all within like the span of a month, it's they do have one that includes at least part of Wales. It goes up to like Scotland and shit too, and I don't know. I think it was worth it. I don't know. I don't have to. I'm sure I'm gonna have to pay for separate like rides on like the underground on some places, but for the big major train rides that I got to do, that shit was absolutely fucking worth it.
Yeah, I mean it's so walkable too. I think
Yeah,
I walked the whole. I walked from where were we? I walked from Shoreditch down to Soho when I went to meet my friends. Like it's so walkable compared to a lot of the shit over here.
yeah. Jason was telling me he's like, you got to ride the double decker and go see like Tower Bridge and shit. I'm like, my dude, I'm not gonna ride a bus to go 2 blocks to see the bridge that I'm staying right next to. It's
No,
I'll take pictures of them, but that seems like overkill to ride it for a couple blocks.
I didn't ride any. I don't have the patience for buses. I don't
Yeah,
care. I don't. I can't. I don't ride buses anywhere. They stress me out. I don't know how to work them. I can work trains anywhere. I was there maybe like a week or two, and this guy came up to me like clearly did not speak any English, speaking an Asian language, and he was like, "How do I get here?" And I'm like, "You know what? I don't live here, but I can help you because we're at a train station, and that I can do." Buses, immediately confused.
yeah. See,
Immediately.
buses are what I'm used to because that's the only public transport that we have here. Um, so those I can pick up pretty easy. They're just I don't know. I feel like it's not as fun as trains, and we don't have obviously like any sort of underground subway station or anything like that here. So I'm excited to see all that shit. So I think it's gonna
Yeah,
be fun.
I like the trains. They're easy for me to navigate. They feel faster too, even if they're not. In my brain, I'm convinced that they're faster, even if they're not.
Yeah,
Matter. Whatever my brain decides is real. That's how my life is. That's how I.
as long as I'm not driving, it's fine. I don't care.
Whatever I've
I get
decided.
to watch. And,
Yes.
it's gonna be fun. I'm gonna make a little vlog while I'm over there. I got this shitty little handheld like camcorder thing, and it literally records videos that are like 90s quality. So it's gonna be super aesthetically pleasing. I'm super excited about it. I can't wait.
I wish I had the patience for that. That would have been really cool when I was over there. It'd be really cool to do with Melissa because we always get into some kind of weird shit when we're together.
Yeah, even just get a Polaroid, man. Like those. I bought like a fake Polaroid to take with me also, and it actually prints out like stickers. Um, so I'm excited I'm just gonna document everything way too much, like I do. So
When are you gonna pack?
I'm not gonna lie, I've already started working on outfits. I passed.
Oh.
I have less than 2 months until I'm leaving, so that's officially when I start planning the outfits because I know, like body wise, not a lot is gonna change between then. So it's safe to start putting shit together. So yeah.
Oh my god. I don't even know. Where do they go? Once you put them together, what do you do with them? Where do they go?
Depending on the pieces, they will either stay packed or they will get packed, or with some of the pieces that are like my comfort items that I wear constantly, I just put them back in my closet and make sure that they're clean in time. So yeah,
That's a whole lot.
I'm always so worried I'm gonna forget something, so I don't know, I over prepare a lot.
You might forget something, but it's a city. You'll be good. I
Yeah.
can't. Listening to people pack early is stressful for me. I don't know how to explain that. Like, I'm leaving on the 5th. I'm going to pack like at midnight on the 4th.
Yeah. See, I can't do that. I don't know. It stresses me out. Like I didn't actually have everything in my bag for Colorado until the day before, but I had everything set aside. I had like a checklist and um had all the actual outfits like rolled up together with all the accessories and all that shit. And I had all of that together, but it was like a week before, and it was like officially set aside. Yeah.
Freya ripped the bubble on her toe, and now it's bleeding.
Ew. Okay. Well, okay. I'll go deal with that. Cool. Somebody ripped a bubble on a toe. So I think that's where we're at now. Just now. I will get you a Band-Aid. Okay. I have more Band-Aids. We'll be cool. All right. Well, I have to go deal with a bleeding toe emergency. So that sounds like a great, probably a good place to call it.
Right, blister time, kids.
Yeah, it was a fun time. Well, looking forward to the next one.
Yes. If y'all have ideas, just drop them in the comments or in an email for the jar, wherever that exists when we put it out
Yes. And as before, all of the socials will be linked in the description. So yeah, catch you guys next time.
there. Peace.